Alright. Alright, here we go. Going for a little ride today on the Victory. Got a couple different things to talk about. It's been a few days since I rode the bike. It's been raining, but it's 70 degrees here in sunny Florida. It's like January, I don't know, 7th or 8th. And just gonna go for a little leisurely ride here. Head over to my buddy Dave's over at Dozer Gear, and we're gonna cut out some gallery tags for me for a little exhibit I got coming up of some of my metal sculpture. We got a fiber laser and a CO2 laser. You can check out Dave's stuff at Laser Stuff YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. I'll put a link in the description and probably at the end of the video. So we had some sad news this week coming out of Polaris that they decided to drop the Victory line. And I have to say I saw it coming. It sucks. You know, they were getting a foothold in the market. They've been around for 10 plus years. Make a great bike. I love this bike. You know, I had a motorcycle shop where we dealt almost exclusively with Harley Davidson and built custom choppers and stuff, all based off of the Harley style platform of engines and transmissions. And I wouldn't buy a Harley Davidson. You know, maybe sometime down the road I'll buy one, but, you know, I just didn't, you know, I really like this Victory, and I like the looks, I like the modern styling of this cross-country bike. I'm riding the 8-ball edition, which is all blacked out, and for the price, and, you know, I could have bought a Harley bagger for sure, Street Glide, and for the same price. So there's a lot of bitching and moaning on the forums, on the vlog, the Victory owner group forum, about maybe, you know, our bike's going to be devalued more, you know, now that this announcement's been made and all that. And it's interesting reading the comments. Some people seem to think that their motorcycle is an investment, and hate to break it to you fellas, but these are toys, and toys are not investments. They're not even an asset. They're a liability. They cost you money. So, you know, if you're not a business person, maybe it's hard to understand those types of things, but motorcycles, cars, boats, you know, pretty much for the most part, unless you have some specialized collector edition, you know, Ferrari 250 GT Dino or something, you know, most likely it's not an asset, right? You've got to maintain it, you got to keep batteries in it, gas, oil, tires, all that good stuff. You use it for transportation, you use it for fun, for enjoyment, but it's still not an asset. Hello there, birds. No. Well, let's make up your mind. Hello. So, you know, a lot of these guys are worried, oh, I just paid $23,000 for my, you know, my Victory cross-country Magnum X1, and, you know, now they're going to be heavily discounting them. And they probably are. You know, at some point, the dealers are going to want to get these bikes off their books. They're going to want to get them off their showroom floor to make room for other things. You know, I know the local dealer that I go to over in New Smyrna, the Volusia Power Sports or Motorsports, where I bought this bike. you know, he's got a pretty small shop. And, you know, he carries the slingshots, and those slingshots take up a lot of space. It's like having 2 or 3 cars sitting in his showroom, which take up the space of probably, you know, 9 bikes for 3 slingshots, 9 or 10, 12 bikes maybe. And so, you know, they have limited space. So I'm sure, I would imagine that, well, at least my local dealership here is probably going to be carrying the Indians if they're not already. I didn't see Indians there when I was there before, but I would imagine that he's gonna. So they say they're going to maintain parts inventories and all that for 10 years, which is good. My bike has a 5-year unlimited warranty, so I certainly plan on, you know, using it if I need it. It, you know, may have been a rash decision by their board of directors or CEO or whoever makes those decisions at Polaris, but it's a huge company, and I'm sure they're looking at their books, and they're looking at how Indian was outselling the Victories big time, about 3-1, from what I understand. And they had a big ATV lawsuit that cost them apparently $65 million, so they had to make up the losses somewhere. And so they decided to dump the Victory. So, I mean, the decision's got to be not an easy one. They've got so, you know, you got, as a company, you got so much tied up in the marketing and the dealership networks and the signage and all of the, you know, liability stuff for the components and the engineering and the employees and this and that. I would imagine as big as they are, you know, those employees aren't going to lose their jobs. They'll carry over into other product lines. But well, it feels good to get on the bike. I kind of made it an excuse just to get on the bike and go right over to Dave's. I really could have just went there on my way home earlier today, but sometimes you just need to get on the bike and ride. So I'm taking the roundabout way. There's a barn up here that I did a photo shoot in front of, probably 10 years ago, with one of the first choppers that I built, and it ended up being on the cover of Street Chopper. It was kind of cool. So I was like looking all over for a cool backdrop that was outside, found this little barn up here, and I didn't have to go on their property because there's actually a sidewalk right out front. So I was able just to park it on the sidewalk and use the barn as a backdrop. It worked out pretty good. There's this barn coming up right here on the left. Nice patina on the roof there. I just parked up right up front there. Pretty cool. So I just got news that my daughter is starting college next week, apparently. And she just got her ID card for Daytona State. And she's in the 8th grade. So that's pretty crazy. She's a pretty smart gal, and she needs to keep getting challenged in her education, and hopefully this will be the next step to keep her engaged and challenged with what she's learning. Pretty proud of her. So Dave and I over there at Dozer Gear, we're going to be launching another YouTube channel here, hopefully coming up in the next week or so. We have a shop together, and we do some kind of goof off stuff that we're going to start filming more and just start throwing it up there. We're seeing all these, you know, videos that are just getting, you know, tens of millions of views for like the dumbest thing. And we're like, man, we do dumb stuff like that all the time. So, just for fun. So that's kind of our plan, is to kind of collaborate on some dumb stuff videos. Excuse me. Probably going to call it the S&D show. For Spiral and Dozer. We're going to do some filming on Sunday. set up a bunch of different cameras, some slow-mo stuff, and just basically wreck some shit. So if you are in the market for a victory, probably now and for the next month or so, it's probably going to be a real good time to buy one, and a new one. Because I did hear a rumor that those $23,000 Magnums were selling already discounted down in the $16,000 range, which would be a pretty fucking hell of a deal for that bike. That one's got the bigger front wheel, contrast cut wheels, the bigger stereo with all the speakers and the saddle pegs and all that. And I don't think the motor has any more power or anything, but it's got that multicolor, you know, paint jobs and all that. Pretty sweet bike. Again, if you have any comments about the vlog or about my channel, please feel free to leave a comment, whether you like it or not, or that I suck, or that you're my biggest fan. I got like 3 or 4 people that watch my vlog, so you know, it's pretty huge audience, and you know, I'm hoping to maybe hit 300 whopping subscribers here. But I love all y'all. You know, I've had my channel for a really long time, probably 7, 8 years, maybe longer, 10 years. I think it was 2007. You know, I didn't really do much with it. I threw up a couple of videos. Well, it feels good to get on the bike. I kind of made it an excuse just to get on the bike and go right over to Dave's. I really could have just went there on my way home earlier today, but I'm taking the roundabout way. There's a barn up here in front of, probably 10 years ago, with one of the first choppers that I built. I was like looking all over for a cool backdrop that was outside, and I found this little barn up here, and I didn't have to go on their property because there's actually a sidewalk right out front, so I was able just to park it on the sidewalk and use the barn as a backdrop. It worked out pretty good. There's this barn coming up right here on the left. Nice patina on the roof there. I just parked up right up front there. Pretty cool. So I just got news that my daughter, apparently, and she just got her ID card for Daytona State, and she's in the 8th grade. So that's pretty crazy. She's a pretty smart gal, and she needs to keep getting challenged in her education, and hopefully this will be the next step to keep her engaged and challenged with what she's learning. All right. So Dave and I over there at Dozer Gear, we're going to be launching another YouTube channel here, hopefully coming up in the next week or so.